It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And as promised, I brought the Mangave Jaguar home from Sunset Cliffs. We just didn't know what was going on, but this plant just continued to decline and decline week in, week out. Both of them actually were declining. The other mangaves were doing fine. I was completely flummoxed and had no idea what was going on and asked your help. And as always, you did not disappoint. You had some really great ideas. I will assure you, though, that it wasn't watering. The watering was on point, which is what confused me so much. Because doesn't it just look thirsty? So here we have a plant that has probably got a spider mite infestation. I don't know for sure. I don't know that I have personally ever run across that before. But after doing a little research, post suggestion, it does check a lot of the boxes. So I'm going to do a little experiment here. And if this thing bounces back, I mean, I will be absolutely amazed, because it's dying. It's been in the back of Greg's truck for 3 days, languishing in the heat. I mean, look at that. But let's see. So, the bare tree and shrub, as you know, is my go-to systemic for all things dramatic. And it doesn't get much more dramatic than this. So I am going to apply about a tablespoon and a half, as recommended via the back of the bottle. And I'm going to do what's called a systemic drench on this plant. So I'm just going to take the whole plant. You want to look up here, Greg? And I'm going to submerge the entire thing in the treated water. All of it. See that? Because I don't know where these freaking spider mites are, but dang nabbit, they're all gonna get their day ruined. Yes, you spider mites, if that's indeed what you are. I'm just gonna let that soak, and then I'm gonna take a fresh planting can and some generic garden soil, potting mix, which is dry, and I am going to plant up the mangave in this can, and then I'm going to set it around, I don't know, probably over at Bentley's toilet, because that's pretty much the shadiest and most protected part of the garden. And you and I are going to follow the progress of this errant mangave until it does one of two things, until it either recovers or dies. So we shall see, won't we? All right, so pull this out, let it drip dry. And I am not going to water this plant for the foreseeable future, because clearly, you know, have you ever seen, short of this side of the grave, have you ever seen a more stressed out, tragic looking plant in your entire life? So it is clearly shocked and appalled. And the last thing it needs is to be languishing in wet soil. So I'm just going to pack it around here, keep those roots shaded, protected, and I will put the plant in the shade as well and just leave it the heck alone for a while. Now, your question would probably be, well, you know, when do you know it's working, or when do you know if you're right, or, you know, when do you start watering, or what? Well, we're just going to let the plant tell us what it needs. So pay close attention right now to what this looks like. All right? Just frame that in your mind. This is what the plant looks like. And we're going to leave it until we start seeing it do something. You know, it's either going to get crispy and die, or rot and get really smelly and gross, or it's going to turn the corner and it's going to perk up, which of course is the outcome we're hoping for, isn't it? So at which point I will then start applying some irrigation to this plant. But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. For now, we've done all we can do for it, and we're just going to see what happens. So, how would you guys like a twofer today, huh? The other day, as you know, we're moving, and we're going to have our first showings of the property by potential buyers. And you know, I ripped all of the barrel cactus out of the front yard a couple of months ago for the La Jolla Shores project. And I never did anything with the front yard. I mean, there were just like craters all over. And because the idea was that I was going to reinvent the front. Then we found out we were going to have to move. And obviously I'm not going to, you know, put in a new front yard, but it still bugged me that it didn't look its best. So I decided that I would come out and clean up under the aeoniums, which were really, you know, like practically, it was 3 inches of dead leaves underneath them. So that was the idea. 2 hours later, I ended up zhushing the entire front yard. So I'm sorry I didn't get a video for you. This wasn't my intention to do all of this. It just happened, I swear. So what started out as me just cleaning all of the dead leaves up from underneath the aeonium urbicums, then I thought, well, crap, you know, we've got a bunch of bagged rock in the garage we need to get rid of. I've got some, you know, kind of nothing burger plants along the side that have been project leftovers that just keep getting schlepped from project to project, like that blue flame agave, the Portulacaria afras, a little blue elf. I had some aloe cuttings. And I thought, why don't I, you know, just plant a few things and get rid of some of the leftover rock. We had, what is this? Is that Vegas pink? No.
I really don't know.
Yeah, Greg doesn't know either.
LA.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This rock came from LA. We used it in a garden up there, and we had some left over. It's kind of pinkish, but I thought it won't look awful with the burgundy. And remember, I had the black ribbon, and then I had the rubble in a ribbon, and that was my jam 5 or 6 years ago, and I've kind of gotten away from doing that now for more of the Jackson Pollock look. So I did. I pulled out all the rubble, and I threw down some of this, this pink stuff, mixed it all in, zhuzhed up all of the black, then just basically took the rubble and staged it around the plants. And you know what's funny, you guys? I didn't realize how compact, I mean, this soil, I don't know if it's from the king palm, but it was pretty bad over here too. I put the shovel down and nothing happened. I mean, hard as a rock. So I wasn't going to kill myself trying to plant these. So basically, I distressed most of the root ball and just set the plants pretty much on top of the soil, and then pushed the soil up around them as best I could, and they were still a little floppy. So that gave me the idea to take the rubble and just kind of support the plants so they wouldn't topple over. And then I stood back and realized, hey, that doesn't look bad. I kind of like that. So I threw some rubble down around each of the plants, did a little more around the Aleuaudia procera, since this is the money plant in this front garden. And, you know, I don't hate this at all. I actually like it. It looks so much cleaner, so much nicer. It took me a couple hours, and it wouldn't have taken that long if I hadn't spent the first hour cleaning up under the aeoniums. So I don't know what to tell you other than, you know, if you've got just a few plants and a few materials and a small space, you can do it, you guys. You can make something out of nothing. That's sort of my my mantra. in life anyway. So this is, you know, and will be hand watered with the hose periodically. It is irrigated, but we've never used the irrigation in all the years we've lived here. So to say I'm, you know, I'm concerned about the garden when I leave is an understatement. But we don't know, you know, what the new owners will do. They may decide to put in fake grass, or I don't even want to put that out there in the universe. Any rate, I can't worry about that. All I can do is my best. And that's all any of us can do, right? So my best is what I'm doing. And I hope that this little video has inspired you today to get out and do something in your garden, because it's all about the little things. Go do something, and I guarantee you, you are going to feel so much better. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.